All right, welcome to the 209th episode of the Drinking Partners podcast. Yes, this is our I don't fucking know. I don't do this shit. This is
that's the goddamn lot of episodes episode.
Yeah, that's it's a lot of motherfucking episodes. I don't even know if it's 209. It might be 210. Again, this isn't what I do. I am half of the hosting tandem of the Drinking Partners, Dave Bracey. I am joined here with my co-host and guest host of the day, Jared Evans. Say what up to the people.
What up to the people?
Yeah, Ed is out. I believe it's his birthday or some shit like that. I might be lying. I don't know. I'm sure Buzzy can edit that out, even though I know Buzzy doesn't really edit shit out.
Whatever.
Post factor. So
whatever.
That's just in there. So happy birthday, Ed. And if it ain't your birthday, well, then you got it early. There it is.
Happy birthday, Ed. Miss you, bud.
Doing 30-year-old-ish shit. I don't know. I mean, he said I think he's like 34 or some shit. Like I have no fucking. I stopped counting after 30.
Yeah.
So just it really doesn't matter. It's really not your day anymore. Like
time is illusion.
Yeah, I mean, so hopefully you're somewhere getting fucked up. Probably just changing diapers or some shit like that. He's got 2 kids, so he's probably doing a Sunday kid thing. I do not envy his position in any way, shape, or form. We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 209 episodes, man. We've been asking y'all. We will continue to ask you, man, please hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review. And, as Ed would say, you love us. You tell us people that, you tell people that you love us. Now just, at the click of a button, go online and tell the world, Facebook, iTunes. And in lieu of rates and reviews, we do take shots of Henny. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for setting the trend. That's usually how that goes.
Do you sometimes, when you get like real fucked up and you start to fall asleep, like start to repeat all that stuff to you, like just you'll like wake up saying it,
just mumbling it
because that happens to me sometimes. Like I'll be like, and the next question is, oh shit, fuck, okay. All right, I'm not doing trivia right now.
Yeah, it's a habit. We got then we had our rundown. Shout out to Epicast for making us sound smooth. If you need any your media work, you need some some photos, some audio editing. Shout out to Epicast for keeping us running. And if you're looking for us, we've got shows in May. May 17th? We got the Silent Disco, Fresh Fest Silent Disco at freshfestbeerfest.com. That's 3 DJs. Doing the, you wear headphones and you get like 3 different channels and shit, and you get to like dance silently. It's weird. So we would be doing that down at Ace Hotel on the 17th.
Those are glowing. It's weird. I don't know.
It is.
You should come down, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's like everybody has their headphones and shit, and like they got different colors, so you know what kind of music they're listening to or whatever, and like everybody's like dancing with headphones on. It's like trippy as shit. And then it's the For the Culture 2.0 can release. For the Culture is the first official collab for Fresh Fest with Black Brew Culture and East End. So we'll have a release there. You get a free pour of the For the Culture with the purchase of the ticket and 3 DJs. It's gonna be like bites and shit like that. So it's a whole thing. So if you like beer and you like dancing in public, then come fuck with us. May 17th at Ace Hotel from like 8 to 12.
Let's be honest. You only have to like one of those things to go, because then you'll like both of those things.
Yes. That usually is how that works out. I mean, you get to dancing and then you fucked up, or you get fucked up and you get to dancing.
Exactly.
However it works. I mean, whatever your chicken egg situation is. And then we're also down at Arcade Comedy Theater May 18th with Mindful Brewing, pouring free craft beer. It's also a BYOB situation. I am always confused by why people show up and not knowing that there was free beer and BYOB. I guess it's the comedy. It's it boggles my mind because I'm not there for the comedy. I'm there for the free beer. So like if it wasn't free beer there, I don't know if I would be there every fucking month. Like I'd take a couple off. So,
Hey, the truth is the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, we do bring a hell of a lineup. We got TJ Ferguson coming through with a couple of folks from out of DC. We also have Robert Puncher coming in from New York. So it's a heavy show, and there'll be heavy booze. And if you don't like beer for some reason, you can bring whatever the fuck you want, wine, spritzers or whatever. Just don't sit in the front row with like some bullshit. If I see you in there with the Smirnoff Ice in the front row, we are going to talk bad about you and hurt your feelings. So May 18th down at Arcade Comedy Theater, and then May 26th, I think, May 27th. I don't know, maybe 27th. So wait, before I even get into that, what episode is this? Is this 210, 209? Something, close. Is it 210? Oh, well, welcome to the 210th episode of the Drinking Partners podcast.
Buzz, you'll just edit that out.
Nope, not doing that.
Yes, this is our Cordell Stewart episode because that's the only number 10 athlete that I know about. So, but yeah, you can catch us May 27th down at Compton Theater. We have comedians. I don't know who the fuck is headlining at that point, but there will be a funny comedian headlining. They'll be accompanied by a couple other funny comedians. Myself or Ed Bailey will be hosting, and Mindful Brewing will be there with free craft beer. Isn't that something? You know what I mean? And it's also BYOB. It's a thing. It's a pattern. You know what I mean? Beer. And
you can also bring
comedy.
shit. Yeah.
I mean, you can also bring your own shit. We aim to please. So, ComptonTheater.ticketleap.com, and that's May 27th. And that's it, man. And then last but not least, Fresh Fest Beer Fest.
Yes, y'all, and the Fresh Fest.
America's first and only Black Beer Festival, August 10th, down at Nova Place. I mean, it's going to be like 40 breweries, like 45 collaborations, 30 black breweries coming from all around the country. So I think it's like 70 to 75 total, plus a bunch of vendors. We've got artists, we've got music, we've got DJs. I mean, we're taking over a whole mall. Like this thing used to be a mall, and we're just gonna party in the whole fucking mall. Like, I mean, like we're 15-year-olds again,
Nice.
which is it's just kind of dope. Hopefully the police won't be kicking us out this time.
The kids need to go back to the mall. That's where you learn stuff.
It's a lost art, man.
Yeah.
I feel like, I learned a lot down at the mall. The Groveville Mall and everything, you get the little bitties. I mean, it was like the first club. Like,
Back in the day, whenever if you wanted to meet someone at the mall, you arranged a time and place to meet, and then if you weren't there, you just didn't see that person. Ooh. And then the person who did show up was worried.
Yeah. I remember sending in sending in a motherfucker, be like, yo, we just go in there and check it out, see if she. Oh shit, yeah. So we're throwing a mall party, Fresh Fest Beer Fest. If you haven't heard about it, then here's your introduction. And if you're looking for tickets, that's freshfestbeerfest.com. And that's it, man. We can get into this interview. Looking forward to it. Been a big fan. This is one of the longest running breweries in the city. Welcoming our guest to the podcast, Nick Rosich, brewmaster of Penn Brewery. Welcome to the podcast. Say what up to the people.
What's happening, folks? Thanks for having me on, Jay.
Yep.
Jay, thanks for listening at home.
Oh, thank you for bringing this delicious booze, this Penn Gold. So, I mean, I guess we can get into talking about this first. I mean, it's a classic, yeah.
Yeah, sure is. It won a lot of awards back in the day, and then there was a long stretch where we didn't even enter competitions, and now I've been.
At what point do you get so good that you just stop even trying to compete? That's crazy.
Steve Sloan,
yeah.
I would say. He's like, I'm not sending Brewers Association money for a chunk of tin or a piece of paper. He's like,
wow, that's ridiculous. So I mean, I guess, what is it about this beer that makes it so award winning?
It's stylistically, it's pretty spot on. So it's falls into all the parameters that make a Munich Helles.
A Munich Helles.
Yeah.
So basically, they're saying you nailed this right on the nose.
Yeah, I think for that stretch we had the golds at the JBF and then the following year at the World Beer Cup. And I mean, winning a gold at the World Beer Cup, you're also competing against larger German breweries.
Oh, okay.
So you're
Wow,
competing
okay.
against,
And
like Stefan Hofbrau, like Spaten. Yeah, so
and those people are known for being very precise in their calculations.
Germans don't, they don't screw around. we know this.
So what you're saying is that this brew impressed even the judges against these very precise.
Against very.
Oh, that's well, I'm impressed then. And it is very tasty.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to pour myself a little bit more here.
So you had to actually compete against motherfuckers from Munich?
Yeah.
On a Munich style? That's some wild shit when you just do it better than the motherfuckers.
Beating the Deutschbags at their own game.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's crazy, man. It's like somebody coming in and making better pierogies than
than the old Polish ladies down at the Catholic Church.
Or at what's the place over in never mind. The people listening don't care. I was about to be real Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, Donner, these guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, nobody cares.
Your favorite pierogi shops.
Yeah.
This is delicious. So I mean, what's going on down there at Penn Brewery? Because it's hard to maintain I don't know. I guess everybody's looking for the newest thing, the newest brewer. I talked to brewers and they're like, I was talking to Nick Jones or whatever. He's like, yeah, we've only been open for 2 years, but I already feel like, we're no longer the new kids in the block. People are man, that they kind of wore off. So how do you do that how do you maintain that?
They stay relevant
for years.
Yeah. So we, I would say one of the big things we did was started making things other than just German lagers. So after the founder, Tom Pastorius, was bought out by the current ownership, they just pretty much cut us loose and said, go make beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your way of moving forward is to continue to experiment and do.
Yeah, we got a pilot system in there. So at the restaurant or some key accounts, we'll put out a lot of other more American style beers, non-Rhine Heights Cabot beers. Yeah.
What is there anything you're particularly excited about that you're working on right now, beer wise?
Beer wise, so we just bottled our Refreshing Session IPA, which is our summertime session IPA. So we can crack into some of that too. So that's always nice. I do enjoy an IPA from time to time, but tend to be a little high in alcohol, and I like to drink 6 beers. So
sure, okay, sure.
Yeah, so do I. I really do. 6 is a nice number. Yeah, it's a very nice number of beers. I'm gonna drink number 2 here. So tell us how you got into brewing. How did you get into brewing, and how did you end up at Penn?
So I from my first memories as a kid up until probably my mid-teens, I saw my father drink one time. Wasn't an alcoholic or anything like that. He wasn't on the wagon or anything. He just didn't drink. He had wife, 4 kids, a job, had a lot of other things to worry about. So the one time I saw him drink, he got pretty schmammered, but a very happy drunk.
Okay.
And then once I kind of came of age, I would go over to Europe with him and stuff and drink beer over there with him. And I was like, wow, when this guy's drinking, he's a really good time. Where was this guy when I was growing up, Dad? Come on.
Yeah.
So I started homebrewing when I was about 19 years old in college, just because it was cheaper to make a few cases than to buy. At that point, it was some craft beer, mostly imports. So I started homebrewing, and then got my degree in forensic science. Did my internship with the ATF and YPD Crime Lab and a couple other groups, and everybody was like, "Hey, we can juice you in here." And I said, "I'm gonna go to brewing school. Thanks, guys."
I just saw a whole bunch of fucked up shit, and I don't want to deal with that ever again.
This is not going to be me. Thanks, guys.
So you were a step away from CSI.
Kind of, yeah.
Can I just say good for you? That does put that out there. Good for you. I have opinions about that. It's just if you see that kind of stuff and you're like, yeah, I'd like to do that. You're like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah, brains.
Yeah. The rational response is, I'm going to go make some beer instead of doing this.
I'm mad. I keep hearing this story over and over again about like, you know, brewers that are just like, yeah, I just figured out that it was cheaper to make it than to, you know, go out and buy it. And like, I mean, I'm like you said, as if like that is just like a natural occurrence. But like I was in college and I was broke, and most of the people that I knew were broke, and none of us had that idea. None of us came. It was just like, hey, why don't we make this shit? Like we came up with very creative ways to get fucked up on the cheap, and none of them involved making it. Like,
well, here's for me at least. I know why I didn't figure this out, because myself and my friends are idiots. So maybe that for me is why we didn't do that.
We probably fell into that even more so as our brains were being rotted by natty ice.
Yeah.
Was it so? Were you brewing natty ice level stuff? I mean, what kind of stuff were you brewing down there? I mean, would you
at home? You mean?
When you first started?
I first started. It was mostly ales. I didn't get into lagers until I was pretty into my undergrad, and then I
Why ales and not lagers?
just because they're easier to make when you're making them in your closet in your apartment, you know. So, and then once I upgraded and bought a fridge for brewing and everything, I started making lagers too.
What is it about lagers that make them harder to make? We were talking to the Union Brothers or whatever, and they're saying how like a Pilsner is like the, you know, super like hard to, you know, do or whatever, because you can't hide the imperfections and shit like that.
Exactly.
But what is it like? What is it in the process or whatever that you need that you couldn't really do it on a, you know,
The temperature control. So lagers are very finicky when it comes to temperature. I think I'm quoting Lou Bryson here, but he talked about how ales versus lagers, ales ferment at warmer temperatures, and when you're warmer, like if you're doing your job, you're sweating, you're gonna smell a little bit. Or if it's 55 degrees out and you're mowing the lawn, you're not gonna smell as pheromone. So the yeast are very similar in that sense. Where lagers ferment at a cooler temperature but create a cleaner beer. So, and you can change any ingredient in beer. The number one flavor component is the yeast. So if you change the ale yeast to lager yeast to ale yeast, extremely different beer. And the fruitiness and all the esters and phenols that the ale yeast produces helps mask. They tend to have a lot more darker malts in them sometimes, roastier flavors, things like that, heavier hopped.
So it's like cooking with bacon.
Exactly.
Right. So you're like if you can fuck around here pretty hard and it's still bacon.
Even if it's burned, it's good.
You rarely throw bacon out. I mean, you really got to fuck. Man, I'm like thinking of past times where I've had to like throw bacon away. Like I'd chew on it. I'd be like, wait, hold on. No. Rest in peace.
So making ales like cooking with bacon. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Man, so then, so you skipped CSI, and then you went to brewing school.
So I went to Siebel Institute. So I was in Chicago. So I just went back. I'm from South Chicago originally, so I went back, and my cousin was nice enough to let me stay with him. So I just stayed with him, and
Nice.
Yeah, it was perfect.
How long had that? Is it like how long is that school? Do you know how long school's been going for? Because I remember schools they're not that old.
No, the Siebel's been around for, I think, like Adolf Coors and Adolphus Busch and those guys, like old school. So 1800s it's been around since.
Okay.
1850s probably, something like that. Yeah.
I guess now just probably hear about it more since brewing is more
popular.
I didn't even know. I just thought everybody just kind of like, you know, hooked up and did like the apprentice type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is a very common way to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was probably one of two people that weren't already professional brewers in the school. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So some professionals go there just to kind of re-cement their knowledge.
And also it offers you just like having a college degree, it can offer you more opportunity. You won't get bypassed when like people are like, oh, we're looking for a brewmaster.
Right.
If you have that, it doesn't mean you're any better than anybody else.
Sure.
It just means that,
Right.
Yeah, you get the paper.
he can jump through hoops.
Right.
Perform circus animal.
You don't have to be as charming.
So how long is the school? Like, is it, I mean, like,
So they do all different types of courses, anywhere from 4-year degrees down to the concise course, which is just a few weeks. Yeah. And they do them online now. Most people don't even go to Siebel anymore. They just do them online. Yeah.
oh shit. I mean, but how do you even pass a test if you're doing it online? Like, I feel like, don't you have to like taste the shit?
They do, and my buddy Neil Glauser, he from Burgers, he's in it right now, and so it's fun to talk and reminisce about those days. And they mail, so everything that we would do like laboratory wise and stuff, they mail you this stuff. So they mail you the spiked samples, so you could smell all the different, taste all the different flavor components that make beer bad.
Interesting. That's cool.
But do you have to like brew for your exams? Like,
No. There's nothing hands-on like that. It's
Really?
it's more of a organic chemistry, biology, and organic chemistry lesson than anything else. Yeah.
So they just want to make sure that you know how to like, I mean, your equations and shit like that. I mean, not so much the actual like. I mean, that's weird. Like, it's almost like, because I feel like it's like you can't graduate chef school without like making chicken.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's weird that you can get a whole degree in cooking and not have to cook.
Well, yeah. I mean, then that's one you can argue. Like, okay, like, in obviously the knowledge is super important, but like, you can also learn how to do something just by like being like, hey, can you show me how to do this? And like, probably become intuitively like maybe even not better, but like, you can do it just as well as somebody else for whatever. So
I don't trust it, man. If you ain't, if like, I don't know, like if you because there's that classroom and you can be like, all right, I know how to do all these things, and then like you actually like I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure there's
you make a beer. I guess if you know how to make a beer, you know how to make a beer.
Yeah.
So it's just fundamentals, and then I guess there's a difference. I'm thinking, I guess there's a difference between just making a beer and then making like innovations in beer. Like, I mean,
huge difference. Yeah.
I was thinking like they're, when you probably first like physically started making the beer, like, or maybe try to apply that knowledge to. I'm sure that like there's some things you could not have learned just by going to the the school.
Definitely not at all.
Yeah.
Like any other job.
Yeah. How much of it is feel to you?
There's a certain amount of finesse and system depending, different people's brewing systems.
Sure.
Certain things are way more finesse, where some places are just everything's automated. Everything has gauges and meters on everything, so you can pretty much mark it down to a numerical science at that point.
Do you prefer one way or the other?
I would prefer for a production brewery to have it in numerical science, just for repetition and product uniformity. But for a pilot brewery or smaller brewery or even a pub brewery, I wouldn't worry about it that much. It's more fun to just
see what happens.
Let your freak flag fly a little bit and see what you can come up with.
So are these cans new?
So we've been canning for the last couple of years with Buckeye Canning, and we just ran Penn Gold and Penn Pilsner this year. So
I was gonna say, these definitely look different than the ones I recall. I haven't had one of these in a while, but yeah, definitely different. I like it.
Yeah, it's different from the bottle that they usually come in.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Is this which is this supposed to be a specific bridge on the front here? I'm looking.
Probably.
Probably Clemente.
Clemente, that sounds right.
Yeah, man, we'll just go with Clemente because that's the one bridge that I know. So you graduated and then out in Chicago, and then what happened?
So then I had 2 job offers, one at Penn and one at High Falls Brewing in Rochester, New York. And growing up in Chicago and then to Western Pennsylvania, figured I'm not going any further north.
No,
I'm done. Yeah, if I'm moving, it's going to be closer to the equator.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, Pittsburgh's it. I'm not going to Rochester.
I had a friend. He moved to Boston. And like a year later, he was like, "Man, why didn't you come visit me?" I was like, "Cause you moved north. Like, when I get free time, I don't go upward."
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You move to Belize, man. I'll be there every other weekend.
Yeah, sure. I visited all my South friends. Right?
Yeah, move to New Orleans. Yeah, you better get an extra room, bro.
feel like when you move to Boston, you should be visiting me. Like, that's how
Yeah.
that should be working. Like,
Yeah, escape from there for a while.
Yeah.
Come down here. I have a friend who lives in Maine. I've never gone there.
yeah, that's.
I mean, I love lobster, but I'm not going up there. It's just not. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It just did nothing that really appeals to me about Maine, except for like leaves and shit. I guess they got up there. They got leaves and clams or some shit. I don't know.
Moose.
Probably get a pretty good depression going if you're really going for that. You know, there's a lot of grayness. It's really cold.
19 hours of nighttime.
Yeah, it's dark a lot.
Yes, thanks.
You're never comfortable, probably.
I don't even know anybody from Maine. Like I've never really like I don't like anytime I'm asking people where they're from. Nobody ever goes like Maine. Like nobody says that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like people that are there are just there. Like they don't like people. And if you ever move there, you're just stuck there. Nobody's ever like I've done some time in Maine. Like
The lobster is cheap as fuck, though.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably why.
They're like bar snacks there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They go up there and they're like, "Don't tell anybody." We're just
I did not know that. Now I'm like, man, I actually want some Maine lobster.
exactly. Yeah, they're like, "Don't tell." Was that we're all up here? As soon as people get up here, we tell them not to tell anybody.
Just lie.
You aren't allowed to leave now.
Yeah, you're with us now.
Yes, your great grandson will be a generation lobster fisherman.
Yeah. Gobble 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 gobble.
So how long have you been back in Pittsburgh?
2005. I started at Penn, end of 2005. So
Yeah. So what are the changes that you've seen since being back? I mean, being in this role.
in Pittsburgh or at the brewery?
Yeah, and well, both in like Pittsburgh, like the beer scene in general, and the progression there, and then also the brewery.
Yeah, so beer scene wise, I'd be considered part of the old guard, I guess. There was really Scott Smith opened in 2005. Steve Sloan was brewing at John Harvard's at the time.
Oh wow, I remember that.
Yeah, over in Monroeville.
Yeah, wow.
Brant Dubovic, who's now in Chicago with he's Corridor and Dry Hop. Amazing brewer, amazing breweries, great restaurants. Brant was at Church, and I'm trying to think of who else. Andy Maxwell, I think, was just starting to get Rivertown up and running at the time. So yeah, there really weren't many breweries in town, and now I went and saw Sam from Dogfish Head talk, and I felt bad. I was like, probably 9/10 of the people in this room are professional brewers, and I don't know a third of them.
Wow. Yeah.
There's just so many. I don't mean to seem crass or like a dick, but I'm like, I will get to your brewery, man. I promise. It's just
There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
multiplying like gremlins.
Yeah.
I like it. It's awesome, but yeah, it's.
I can't say that I'm going to get to your brewery. I love the breweries, and like I love the fact that I have a podcast. So for like the breweries can come in, I can have their beer, but. Gas is expensive as fuck, man. Like, my shit take 93. Like, you really got to be doing something for me. Yeah,
Please send a car.
Yeah. That's like I get it. I understand why breweries don't like distribute and why you can't. But man, like I really wish. More breweries can like ship their shit out. Like, I could just go to my, my local little distributor and pick up. And every time I'm at the distributor, like I look for local first, and it's hard. I mean, the selection isn't always, there. I mean, for a lot of reasons and whatnot. And it's crazy. It's just crazy because like there's so many, like there's so much beer that is shipped in. But like it's hard to get the local stuff, which is so. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not going to make it to all of the breweries. But I do want to try as many as I can.
Never say never.
I don't know. I feel like some of these motherfuckers are going to close before I even get a chance.
People are going to hear this and they're going to start sending cars.
Yeah.
Why do I need to ride in somebody else's car? The brewers just bring beer to him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Please ship more beer.
They start to make offerings to you.
But that is. There's. Was it like 24 supposed to be opening up this year?
Yeah.
What?
Alone. Like there were like 17 last year or something like that. That's shit, like I mean, I would have to go to a new brewery like every other week in order to keep up, and that's a new brewery. That's not even seeing the breweries that I actually like. I mean, and like or in close vicinity to me. I mean, so that's tough.
24, really? Wow.
Something like that.
New
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, but I guess like, you figure the market share at this point, you guys are doing like what, 13 to 18% or something like that of the total beer sales
For Pittsburgh?
for beer in general.
Yeah, I would say probably
craft beer is
probably creeping up on 20 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 sounds
I mean,
good though too. I'm not.
still seems like there's some room for craft beer to kind of like grow. I mean, I guess like in the, in total sales. I mean,
No,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, the more people that order a craft beer instead of all you have to do is switch somebody from, oh, you like Budweiser, try that. Oh, you like this? You like wine? Try dry lager, Strange Roots.
Mm-hmm.
Try some of their aged sours. Turn a wino on,
Yeah.
So you can definitely. I think there's plenty of room to grow still. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as the city and younger generations keep embracing it, like generation has right now. Yeah, I think it still have more room.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the most like extreme example of a weird beer that you've made that you've produced? Do you do anything like things like that?
Yeah. Since the new ownership, we've been just allowed. They're cool.
Because I like wild shit,
So I a few years back I did I went up to a maple farm up north and I had reverse osmosis the maple sap down to 5% sugar and then use that instead of using water. So I started off with an already sweet wort. I mean, just to begin with, it was 5 Play-Doh. So, and where a beer usually is like, 12 Play-Doh is about the average. It's going to give you 5% alcohol beer. So I was starting off with 5, and then on top of everything else, it was a big like breakfast stout.
Okay.
Yeah, and it turned out nice, and that was probably one of the more adventurous things.
Reverse osmosis down to 5%.
Yeah,
Sugar?
so sugar, maple sap comes out of the tree. When the sap's running through the phylums, it comes out at about 1% sugar. So, but they'll reverse osmosis filter that to remove excess water, and they can get it to, I'm not sure, probably about 10, 15, 20, maybe even.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And that's when they'll put it in their evaporator and turn it into syrup.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the process of making syrup.
I know that like a tree only like gives you a little bit.
Yeah.
Whole ass like tree, you get like 2 bottles or some shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Which is, it seems wildly inefficient.
It's one of those things like you are aware of that, like the general idea is, but I never researched that before. So it's like, yeah, no, I know it doesn't come out as syrup, but I have no idea.
I didn't know that it didn't come out of syrup. I thought they just plugged a fucking hole in that bitch and and then like syrup.
Mrs. Butterworth walks by, right on the flapjacks.
I thought you just stuck a spigot in that bitch and turned it on.
if that were the case, people would just be having picnics next to maple trees all the time.
That was my understanding. Like Canadians would just like wake up and be like, "Oi," and just spigot their trees. Like I didn't know. Like the same thing like with the gum or whatever. Like you just fucking pull some gum off of a tree and chew that bitch. Like, but apparently you do more than that.
Martha, go out to the tree and get some more syrup. Hey.
Hey.
You gotta milk the motherfucker. Like I don't know. So yeah, I mean, this is a delicious ale.
I've not tried the IPA yet.
How long have you been brewing this?
So we've been tweaking it and working on it for probably about 3 years now. And we've been, this is the second run. Last year we did it in cans. And then this year we decided to put it in bottles, and it'll be, as long as it goes out well and people enjoy it and we get a recall on it, we'll, or reorders on it, we'll keep making more.
I mean, it says a session. Is 5% session these days?
I think under 5.5 is considered.
Is that what it is? I mean, you're the brewmaster, so of course you. Usually when I see sessions, they're like 3. So like, I mean, basically most, like, all the Budweisers and all those are just session beers. Like,
Yeah, Bud full flavors 5%. Bud Light's 4 or 5.
yeah, so they're all sessions.
session beers,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Man, I thought I was just an alcoholic. I was just like, yeah, like anything under 6.
What? Only 5?
Yeah, like
Trash.
like anything under 6 is a session, like, But I mean, apparently that's really what that is. That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's that hits nice. You could definitely have about 6 of these, 6 to 12, depending upon your week. Oh man! So what else is going on with Penn Brewery?
So so Chris, my assistant, I don't know if you've heard, he last November I was in Portugal and I came back and I got a call when I landed in Canada on a layover and they're like, Chris got life flighted to the hospital.
Oh shit.
He got defibbed twice back to life. Like
Whoa.
he was gone for a minute. Like
Wow.
So he just in and out of the hospital, just got his heart transplant last week.
Got a heart transplant. Shit.
Needed a full heart. 31 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing kid, amazing brewer. Never went to brewing school or anything like that. All on the job, but yeah, that kid's probably one of the best brewers I know. Yeah. So he's recouping, and they said in the next 2 to 3 months he should be coming back.
Dude, a heart transplant. That's crazy shit.
More importantly, did he tell you what's on the other side?
So funny. That was the first thing I asked him when he came. He's like, I'm going to come back for a day or two, just to get out of the house. And I was like, anytime, you're always welcome, man. And I pulled him into the fermentation cellar and I was like, all right,
What's
dude.
death like?
I was like, yeah. Whoa, big light. What happened? What happened? What happened? And he's like, darkness. I was like, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. That's
You
not
heard-
what anybody wants to
You
hear.
heard it here first. The honest truth is that it's all over.
Yeah. You know that place you came from?
Yeah.
That's where you're going.
Yep.
Ask the church for your 10% back.
Oh man, it's sad, but it's true.
Well, we heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris went there and he came back.
which is why you're brewing beer, so we can enjoy it while we're here.
Goddamn
You know what
right.
I mean, cheers. Cheers to that shit.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna cheers you guys in the middle of the table for that. There we go.
Yeah.
And to Chris also for coming back.
Yes,
Good job, bud.
Thanks for reporting.
Yes.
From the other side.
Twice. So,
2 times. Wow.
entered Euro Beer Stars recently, which is so whenever
Sounds like a reality TV
show, doesn't it?
Is that the one with Lil Kim?
So it's so there's 3 like really BA sanctioned brewing competitions. There's a World Beer Cup, the Great American Beer Fest, and the Euro Beer Star. So the World Beer Cup's always in America. Great American Beer Fest is always in America, but Great American Beer Fest is only American breweries. Where World Beer Cup, everyone's allowed. Where the Euro Beer Stars always takes place in Germany. So you have to ship your beer over to Germany. So I'm sending a few beers over there just to see if I can, again, beat the Deutschbags on their own game, on their home turf.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bold to go to their place and
Like Patton, I'm going to roll through that joint.
man.
It's like reverse beer fest.
Reverse Beer Fest. I like it.
We're bringing the game to them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So that's other up and coming things. So Lauren Hughes. I don't know if you know Lauren. She was Meg Evans' assistant at Rock Bottom. So she came onto the team too.
Oh shit!
So yeah, and amazing brewer. She was definitely the fastest train I've ever had on our brewing system. We have a difficult brewing system. Everything's metric. Everything's in German. A lot of unlabeled pipes and levers and stuff. Week and a half, she was on her own.
Wow.
Didn't even need me standing around her.
Yeah, she's been killing it down there.
Yeah,
at,
she's
at
rock bottom. Yeah, she was. So I can't wait to let her as soon as we get caught up, because we've been a little behind just with Chris being out, and I was the only person who could brew. So now that we're getting caught up, I can't wait to let her loose on the pilot system and have her just go to town on that thing for a while. She's doing Schwartz beer, I think, in the next couple weeks here, and
What's a Schwartz beer? That sounds like Spaceballs.
yeah, it sure does. So Schwartz means dark. Like black. So it's a kind of like a black lager. So instead of having any kind of roasted notes or anything like that, it's a very, very muted. It's more just a color than roastiness. But yeah.
Why? What does the color do to it?
I mean, you'll get a little bit of flavor out of it, but we're not talking anything like a Guinness roastiness. You're not going to get a porter roasty flavor out of it. But it's a crisp, clean drinker. I like him.
So how is that process like of, what's going to be brewed? Like, what's the new thing? Like, I mean, like, do you guys like have a vision board or some shit? Like, like how do you decide like the
we
next
go on
thing?
vision quests.
Yeah.
Is it one person who's always like, what about this? And you're like, shut up.
Make it hazy.
Oh God. Yeah. I'll put out a couple more batches of the toxic lupulinity that we need. So Gene, I don't know if you know Gene from the restaurant. He named one of our beers Toxic Lupulinity after the guy from the local Great Lakes Brewing News, like the owner from Great Lakes Brewing News.
Yeah. I saw that shit that he was like he was wilding out.
Yeah,
What happened?
Yeah.
So he wrote some like mad like sexist ass like posts about like women and
So he has
like
low self-esteem.
and beer, and it was like it was a beer column though.
Yeah,
and
it was
he started ranting about like women and
Lady
shit.
bashing.
Yeah, like it was weird because that's not what anybody like tunes in. We tuned it like but people were like reading this. I never even heard the dude until this shit happened, but like. It's a beer. People were tuning in for beer, and he's like, "Well, here's my opinion on women." It's like, why?
Every time something like that happens, it's like my first question is, it's kind of like, hey, are you okay?
Did your mom not hug you enough? Buddy?
Yeah. Whoever you're yelling at, like these people are not what you're like the problem. Like usually, it's like you have something that's going on. It's like
Misplaced aggression. Anybody?
Yeah, maybe you should maybe talk to somebody about your feelings.
Yeah, his mom. It's clearly it's issues. It's such a weird place like to come. I always like, and people are always like, hey, like. Because if you're outward about your shit, then like I can't really fuck with you or whatever. I mean, and I kind of appreciate the crazy motherfuckers that do that shit because at least I know where you stay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, thank you.
Not a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for fucking up, but I'm always amazed by it because like you can stay successful by shutting the fuck up.
Just
like
shut up.
Nobody's asking you, like nobody's putting you under the hot seat. Like, yeah, talk about women. Like nobody is. Like you just decided to do this. Like you were gainfully employed for a great many years, like in a profession that's like quickly dying.
Yeah.
And you jumped up to. It's mind-boggling. Like
It wasn't like an issue like, oh, I think there's too many people in jail. Or, women, let me tell you what.
Dresses short, don't like it. Like it's just like why? We were talking. What?
Let me piss off more than half the people there are.
Yes.
50.5% of the population is not buying my paper ever again.
Yeah, come on.
You could have just talked about the new IPA on deck.
That's all you had to do.
That's all you had to do. That's what you've been doing. I don't know, man. Like with the like Roseanne, like when she went all like, like she's always been crazy and shit. And it's just like, why? Like you have a whole show. Like you got this. You don't have to. Nobody's asking you these questions. Nobody's like, "Hey, Rosie, talk about the blacks, Rosie." Like, nobody is like knowing it. She's just on Twitter, like, "So, black people, like." You could have just been quiet and collected your millions. Like, and she has writers and shit. They were giving her like money. They were giving it. She had resurrected her career after like 20, 30 years of not being on the air. You came back. Like, why?
It's crazy because like sometimes you have to like. So I always think to myself whenever people do stuff like that, like sometimes it's a move. right? It's like, oh, no one's been talking about me for a while. I better say some crazy shit. But like sometimes it's just like you can tell someone was like, oh, I took too many pills. I was up all night because I took an Ambien. I didn't go to bed. I just tweeted some crazy shit, and I can't do that because I'm a celebrity and I forgot for a second.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. After a while, you would crack. You'd just be like, I got something to say.
Right. Imagine, like, if you're famous like that, you really can't. Like, if you actually think that, you can't. If it's just bottled up for a long time, you're like, eventually you're like, I just blocked.
I can't.
If Paula Deen had Tourette's.
I mean, I get it. It's just crazy to me because that's like 90% of society. 90% of society doesn't get to talk about whatever the fuck they really want to talk about.
Right,
Nobody cares about what they have to say. They don't have a platform. They just go to work, and if they ever did say something crazy, they get fired. So they just don't. Right. So 90% of America doesn't get to do that. So it is weird to have.
That's why I will always fight for anyone's right to say whatever they want, and if it's something I don't like, then that just puts a red flag. Says like I don't need to necessarily interact with you all the time.
Yes,
that's fine.
Yeah, I do not. I might not agree with what you say, but yes, I think you should be able to say it as loud as you want. As loud as you want to fucking say it.
Yeah,
for certain.
Yeah, if aliens were watching us, like most of the time, what they would see is, I mean, if they're watching us in this room right now, they would see this. They would see us sitting here, drinking things and being like bop 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 just at each other.
Yeah,
like we're not doing anything. It's like if that's the reality of the situation, like what are you getting so upset about? Yeah, we're just like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Especially on this fucking this planet, this little speck of dust in a larger speck of dust,
like the end of Men in Black.
Space dust.
Yeah, that movie. That's a really dark ending too. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Like it starts zooming out.
Aliens are actually like
playing marbles.
Yeah.
I watched the movie like, why did they do that to us at the end? Why would they suggest that that's the case? That's horrifying.
I mean, when you like,
Copernicus was wrong. I am the center of the solar system. What do these aliens think they're doing?
But it's crazy because we like that might actually be it. We might just be like, we might just be like a speck of dust on somebody's sock. Like, you know what I mean? Like it could be, because the further you go out, the more it just looks like there's just some like, bigger fucking thing. It just looks like a web or some shit. Like, it's weird.
And also, if you go smaller, it turns the same thing.
The same shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild as fuck. There's like shit living in us. There's little universes like in us.
We are composed. We are essentially like a cell megazord. Yeah. Like all of our cells. Like our cells. Those are
in a quantum level. Yeah.
We just sound really like baked or something.
For good reason.
Well, they were having some beers and some
a cell megazord. Mm-hmm. That is exactly what that shit is.
Exactly.
Almost like the blob.
Yeah. Well, so here's a crazy idea I had recently, right? So like the fact that we have like cell phones in our basically almost everyone has one now.
Yeah.
And so the way that our cells can interact with each other, like our neural network, it's almost like this is starting to connect something like that on like a larger scale. Like if we are all ourselves cells, then we now are directly plugged into anyone else that you want to at any point. And like this is getting closer and closer to being like maybe in like your head. Right. So like what will happen, like a good example, memes, right? Memes being a thing that like kind of washes over everyone. Who's looking at your phone. Like we now have this consciousness, like kind of a larger consciousness because we're all connected a lot of the time, and like we're acting as one organism.
The hive mind,
right? And like, is that the future? Is the future us going to be, like we don't have to speak anymore because we're all plugged in?
That'd be efficient,
right?
Efficient as hell,
right?
Stop talking,
right? Because you wouldn't stop, conversing.
Yeah, communicating.
Right,
yeah.
But if like the closer this gets to being like in your brain or in like being able to maybe even feel each other's feelings, like I feel like that thing might be better. If I knew exactly how you were feeling right now, I would be so much more sympathetic to your whatever you say or do. I'd be like, oh man, I know you're not feeling great today. Yeah. So why don't you just take it a little easy?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be that connected to motherfuckers. Man. I enjoy not knowing how a motherfucker be feeling sometimes. Like, I'm like, listen, bro.
We all got problems.
Yeah. Well, like, like when I'd be like, hey, how's it going? I don't always want to know exactly how it's going.
That's fair.
Like I don't know, like I mean, whenever I ask people like the superpower, like what would you, and then they tell me that they would choose telepathy. I'm like, you're fucking crazy.
Oh no,
you have no idea what the fuck kind of crazy ass life that is of always knowing what's going through somebody's motherfucking head. Like because nobody's gonna have the actual like the discipline to use it wisely. You know what I mean? Like only in necessary. Like you're always gonna be using that shit. It's gonna drive you crazy. You know what I mean? Like. So I don't know. I wouldn't want unadulterated access to other people's
thoughts.
No, I wouldn't. And hopefully, we'd if that were to happen, we'd have some kind of like maybe even like settings. You go to the settings menu.
Killing each other like crazy.
I don't
dangerous.
I don't think they if it were feelings, if it were like more emotional though, I don't think it would be like that. I think like if you could really feel what someone else is feeling, like because people who are like angry and stuff, like you'd feel like probably pain from them and like that they're really hurting, and you'd be like, let me try and help this person. You'd probably be more motivated to help them because you could feel what they were feeling. Be like, I need this. That's no matter what they're doing. If they're doing some crazy shit, you'd be like, wow, the person's not crazy. That person's really in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Just showing more empathy towards each other.
Exactly.
Which is something we can definitely do as a species.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I also like coming from a social service background or whatever. Those folks that are like real like empaths that kind of like can feel and like have it or whatever. They burn out quick. Like they're like I don't envy their life. Yeah, I mean, like I want to understand as much as I can or whatever, but I do also appreciate my ability to kind of like wall it off and be like, all right, well, I can't be invested in this particular situation. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I got to, and I think like like I said, I like if there's no place for like if I'm just going around and I'm just like feeling shit, like I just be like, oh fuck, like I kind of like if you're having a bad day. And like, and we're not in a place that like this is time to deal with this shit. Then like lie to me, like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm working, if I had a bad day, listen, like maybe on Monday we can talk about it or whatever. But it's Saturday night, somebody's birthday and shit like that. Like I don't really want to sit and talk about your shitty week, like.
That's maybe it would be like like almost the way you can regulate your own feelings. Like if you're feeling a certain way, you can put that shit away.
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
It's like a setting. You can like how much empathy do I want today?
How sensitive am I?
Just like how loud do you want your phone to ring?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So if someone like that you care about is really, it feels like they're having a hard time, you can like turn it up and be like, okay, I'm coming in. I'm going to feel what you're feeling right now.
Give me all the feels.
Give me all the feels you feel, man. and you're both end up like, I'm so sorry this happened to you.
I'm buying stock in Kleenex the day this happens.
At feel parties and shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and let's not skip where this would obviously.
There is the good feelings.
Yeah, there could be the good feelings.
Yeah,
you could hook up with the good feelings.
I want to be with that guy. Yes, Lord.
Oh yeah. In like all the spectrum. Imagine like the different spectrum of good. Like if you're like a rave or something, you're like, wow, that. You just for a second, you're like, what's? Ooh, this person feels amazing.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Ooh, I mean, would drugs be cheaper then? Like, if one person got high, then everybody would just
Everybody
get like.
could
That's a good question.
Like,
Tune into that guy.
yeah. Ooh, I like that wave.
Would it be the same though? It'd probably be. You'd be like, it'd be pretty good, but it wouldn't be the same as if you took the drugs yourself.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't
Virtual
have
reality kind of thing.
Right.
almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't get like maybe the physical, like a body high, but if somebody's like just on cloud nine with some shit, and you can just tap and be like, oh yeah, groovy.
Yeah, maybe it would be like someone who's on a lot of like that, like a lot of shit. It would be better to be like not them, but be like near them. You'd be like, I can't go there, but I can. Like it's like being near like a fire. You're like, I can't do close to that, but like it's
I'm
really
not
nice.
summiting Mount Everest today. Base camp, I'll be there.
Yeah. We'll make the hot chocolate for when you gotta get back.
So then you would have that. That would be a profession. Some motherfucker that would just be like, "Yo, I'll get fucked up for you."
Oh yeah.
Like some dude would just come to a port. Like
My
Corey,
stunt liver, I call him.
like Corey Garcia. Like we paid him $3 to eat pig liver. You know what I mean? Like in high school. You know what I mean? So like you got the weird dude that's just like, fuck it, what do you want? What did you want in me? Give me like just
Crazy Kenny.
Yeah, throw it at me and like I'll do it, and then you can just tune into that shit. Like
We're joking about this, but this was probably going to happen.
I'm waiting for it. I hope it happens before I die. I can't wait to be like 80 years old and just like tuning into some kids like, you know, youthful optimism.
And then be cranky about it. You whippersnappers have no idea how hard we had it. And
We better be careful coming up with ideas like this because someone from the future is going to arrive and kill all of us.
Like,
They're going to burn the recording of this. Like, you don't know what you did. This one kid was listening and he got that idea and he did it. It's terrible.
yeah, I am looking forward to being somebody's drug mule. Like, I don't know I wonder the name you would just whatever. I feel like once I get into that older age, I could do that shit.
You'd be a lantern.
A lantern,
Yeah, or lighthouse. The light of who's being the lighthouse tonight?
The lighthouse.
Yeah,
you change your middle name to Beacon.
Beacon. Yeah, the Beacon. That's even better. The Beacon. Yeah, that's a job.
That's some cool superhero type shit.
Like, what do you do, man? Oh, I'm a beacon. You're like, oh shit.
Thoughts and prayers, man.
Where are you at right now? What are you on?
1 to 10. 1 to 10. Where are you? It's like, oh man, like -2. Last night was crazy. Yeah.
You coming or going? What's going on?
He has the person that's like a portable IV on him, like a backpack IV. It's just they're just like in a floating like in Dune, that floating fucking shit, you know, that suit keeping him alive. Ugh. Jesus Christ.
So I guess is you got any events coming up with Penn?
We have the Penn and Pork. I'm trying to. I may have said that wrong. I can't remember the name exactly, but it's with the folks from Porky's down in Etna, and they're coming up and they're throwing a whole pig, whole hog on the smoker.
Okay.
They just got a new smoker, so they're throwing the whole hog on. Tickets I want to say are like $35 or $50, but it's all the pork you can eat, and there's a few beers included in it too.
Oh wow,
shit! Wait, when is that going now?
I will pull up the date for you real quick.
Yeah.
all the pork you can eat sounds okay to me.
Dude, I was sold at all the pork you can eat.
You don't have to sell that hard to me. I'll be there
At all?
Yeah.
So we are doing that on June 8th.
Yeah. Unlimited pork, like fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So where can they find you?
I'm sorry, come in.
Where can they find you online and Penn Brewery and things like that?
PennBrew.com. You can also come on down to the north side, or if you're heading out of Pittsburgh International or into Pittsburgh International, you can always stop over there. Beers at the airport are the same price as at any of the other at the brewery. So it's nice to have a pint of locally brewed fresh craft beer for an affordable thing, and they're not like, hey, that's $13.
Yeah,
like,
the
wait,
airport
what?
tax.
Good for you. Yeah, fuck that.
So yeah, big ups on them for doing that. Or at the downtown location too. So
Oh, I heard you guys were downtown now.
on First Ave.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, is that are you guys brewing down there?
No, it's just a satellite location.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is that like the first brewery satellite location in downtown?
Are
there any other?
The airport was the first one, and then downtown.
No, I don't know if there's any other breweries that have a satellite location downtown.
I don't think so.
I
Not that I know.
I think you're either going to bars or
that's
the Penn Brewery really is like the only actual brewery.
Scott's. I think does he still have one in the Strip?
In the Strip, well, it depends on what you consider downtown, but I mean, because then your Cinderland's down there in the Strip or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
That's in the Strip. Yeah.
Man, that is, because a friend of mine was just telling me about it. She goes there on her breaks and shit.
Oh, nice, nice, yeah.
Boozy lunches and shit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Everyone should be getting a little bit just whatever good feelings you like to feel in the middle of the day. You know, take a nap maybe. The Europeans have it right.
Yeah, no,
Have a beer, have a nap.
yeah, they start later and they little naps and shit like that. I mean, it's very like fucking waking up at 6 o'clock in the goddamn morning, or being at work at 6, and then just fucking working all the fuck day, and then man, in rush hour traffic and shit like that. Like, man, what the fuck? What?
Like, if you know your history, you know that the people who made up that system are assholes.
Yeah,
Like, you know that.
yeah.
It's like daylight savings time.
Yeah. Why are we still doing that?
Yeah.
Can we stop?
Yeah, it should be fours. We should be doing 4 3s, 4 days, 3 days off. I mean, like doing this
4
whole.
10s. I would do 4 10s
I would
tomorrow.
do. Oh my god, 4 10s. Like, I mean, it was fucking. You do 5 days and then you do 2. You fuck 2. What have you been doing? Like, I go right back to this shit. You motherfucker.
Yeah.
Man, they're just fucking assholes. I mean, I guess it's a little bit better than every day.
Yeah.
Don't become a brewmaster.
Yeah, we used to do that, and it didn't really work out so well.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't want to do it, and they had to do it anyway.
Yeah, they were dying, in their teens.
I didn't want that.
Yeah.
Child labor laws.
Child labor laws.
Well, no, kids definitely should work. That's 100%. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's the only. That's a big problem.
How else are we going to get our coal?
Exactly. Yeah. And the ones that survive are the strong ones, and they get to make the rules next.
So, Jared, tell them where they can find you.
Well, you can go to radicaltrivia.com. Check out all of our trivia shows around Pittsburgh. If you like what you heard here, just come out, and it's always free to get, bars, restaurants, come out, play a free game of trivia. You can win some stuff. I'm among the hosts that we all have. So it's me and other people that are also fun to hang out with and answer some questions and do that kind of thing. Also, check out Midnight Rose. We got some new songs coming out, some like classic rock, spacey kind of shit.
Your performance is absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, it's
Thank
a
you.
show.
Thank you.
It's a show.
That I appreciate that. Yeah, we try our best to like put on a show. It's not just like a local band. It's like, no, we're gonna put on a fucking show.
It's a
man.
production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like that. Like, you're not just up there just like playing songs.
Yeah.
You're performing, which from as an entertainer, man, I was thoroughly entertained. Like, that's
Thank you.
And that's it's I feel like it's a lost art. Like, I mean, like some folks, like when I go to concerts, like, even my faves, like, that's cool. I might like your song, but like, motherfucking give me the energy.
Show me something.
You know what I mean?
I came out of my house for this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I wanted just whatever I could hear on your DVD or CD or whatever the fuck, like streaming, then I can just do that shit. Like,
Yeah, it's like I want to get like spit on or not spit on, but like sprayed water on, or like I want to see some blood, or I want to see some like fireworks and lightning and shit. Like, show me some crazy shit if I'm going to come outside and shit like listen to band.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we don't spit on people on purpose.
get the passion in there.
I didn't mean like a hawk. I mean like, when you're singing, some spit flies out. It's like, oh man, like let me spit on me by accident. That's awesome.
Little sweat going on.
Yeah, I got sweated on.
Some work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a fan. You can also catch them down at Fresh Fest August 10th, collabing with Shoe Brew.
Yep.
So
Nice.
that'll be. I'm looking forward to it. Shoe Brew has a pixelated series, very video game oriented, and Zach is a huge comic nerd as well. So I'm looking forward, because I know you have quite a collection of both comics and video games. So it just seemed like the proper pairing, and whatever comes out of that is going to be absolutely insane. So if you're looking for them, that's FreshFest, beerfest.com, August 10th.
So Midnight Rose is MIDKNIGHT Rose. Just it's easier to when you Google that, you're not getting other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of other Midnight Roses. I didn't make that up, by the way.
Yeah. you're like, yeah.
No, but it's. I'm really going for it. We're doing a whole bunch of new sci-fi shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So come check it out.
Nice.
Find us on
Looking forward to that next show, man. And if you're looking for us, we are the Drinking Partners. You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. And you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Partnerspod. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming in here this Sunday, spending the, and shout out to Ed, wherever you at. I'm sure.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I mean, to this 200th 310th episode, I believe it is. And shout out to Cordell Stewart for wearing the Jersey 10 and having some kind of connection to Pittsburgh, because that will piss Ed off. And
sorry for all the trouble, by the way. We really get like a hard time for no reason. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Shout out to those folks. So, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go smoke some weed. So, shout out to all the peoples that are listening, and we'll see you next week. Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family, and we're out.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Goodbye.
Very informative. I like having the real, like the knowledgeable conversation, and then devolving into like weird